Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? Welcome back to Jets Media. This is Richie. We got some breaking Jets news. The New York Jets have traded Mecole Hardman to the Kansas City Chiefs, back to the team where he was drafted. And the New York Jets, they get in return nothing crazy. They basically move up from the 7th round to the 6th round in the 2025 NFL Draft. Now, this is not shocking news to me personally. I had a feeling that Mecole Hardman was on his way out after we heard the report come out 2 weeks ago, I believe, or was it last week? Not too sure. And listen, this trade was written on the wall right when we saw the resurgence of Xavier Gibson, and I'm not too shocked. I think that the Jets wanted to do right by Mecole Hardman because he does not have a role in this offense or on special teams, as you guys see, and the Jets decided, let's get rid of you. Now, my only issue with this personally is the depth at wide receiver now is a little thin because, look, luckily we're healthy at wide receiver right now, but, injuries happen, and I'm not really confident about the depth at the wide receiver spot. It's pretty not that deep, right? We got Garrett Wilson as the bona fide number one. We got Allen Lazard. You got Randall Cobb. You got Xavier Gibson. But outside of that, that's it. So, listen. This is one of those moves that the Jets feel like, and listen, we don't know what happened behind closed doors. For all we know, Mecole Hardman probably went up to the Jets and told them, hey, listen, I just don't want to be here. If you don't want me here, get rid of me. And listen, there's no value for Mecole Hardman. You can't expect the Jets to get a 3rd-round pick or anything like that. The draft compensation is low. But at the end of the day, maybe, listen, this is the time for Jets fans to realize that we may have something special with Xavier Gibson. And I feel like this trade, people forget the reason why this trade is even happening. Don't forget, it's because of Xavier Gibson, okay? If Xavier Gibson was never a thing, this trade would not be happening. Mecole Hardman would be the starting punt returner, the starting kick returner. He'd be the gadget guy on offense, getting those end arounds, getting those, plays in the slot. But that's went to Xavier Gibson. And the New York Jets are thinking long-term here because Mecole Hardman is on a 1-year deal. Xavier Gibson is on a 4-year cheap contract. So what the New York Jets are doing is basically this, right? They found a gem in Xavier Gibson. They want to give him all the rookie reps so he can develop and be the guy for this New York Jets team on cheap control for 4 seasons. That is the reason for this. Again, I don't want to stress this enough. Xavier Gibson is the reason for this trade, okay? And Jets fans should be excited about Xavier Gibson. I'm really excited about Xavier Gibson. We finally got a stud in the undrafted free agency pool who won us the game against the Buffalo Bills, who had a really good run on Sunday against the Philadelphia Eagles on a little trick play. And it's just the unfortunate reality for Mecole Hardman as an individual. He was signed here. I feel like the Jets had a role for Mecole Hardman more with the Aaron Rodgers-led offense. And then when Xavier Gibson was brought here and he fought to make the roster and he fought to be the starting punt and kick returner, and then he even showed to the coaching staff, oh, wait, I got juice. I could be an actual guy that be part of this wide receiver rotation. That's what happens. But my biggest issue with this, folks, is definitely the depth at the wide receiver spot. Now you might have to, look around the NFL. Are the Jets going to be looking out there to make another trade? Are the Jets going to go out there and look to trade for a wide receiver to fill out this team? Because right now, you look at the depth chart, and yes, it is a little concerning when you look at the depth at this wide receiver position. Personally, I'm not really looking at it and thinking, hey, yeah, we got all these guys that could plug in here and play in case of injuries. And right now, Jason Brownlee hasn't even played this season. He's been in a healthy scratch every single game. Irvin Charles has been getting reps at wide receiver. And outside of those two guys, the Jets felt like Mecole Hardman, get out of here. And you think of Mecole Hardman individually, he's stoked. He is going to go to the Chiefs. And you look at that Chiefs wide receiver room, they're not good. And Mecole Hardman knows the system there already. He knows exactly what to expect. He's going to go out there and go crazy. He's going to thrive with the Kansas City Chiefs. And I think this is just the beginning of the moves to be made for the New York Jets. Don't expect this to be the last trade before the trade deadline. I think that the Jets could definitely go bring in some offensive linemen. We need some guard help in the interior, especially with Joe Tippmann unfortunately going down with a thigh injury and AVT being out for the season. But you look at the offense right here, right now. I know that the first instinct is the Jets are idiots. Why do they do this? Well, again, I can't stress enough the resurgence of Xavier Gibson is the reason for this, and Mecole Hardman's not happy about it. So the Jets do not really want someone, I guess, in the locker room that's like thinking about, hey, I don't really want to be here if you're not going to use me. Trade me away. That's what it is, man. And listen, folks, can we just slow down, pump the brakes? The Jets signed Mecole Hardman for a 1-year deal worth $4 million. Okay? Let's not just like pretend that we signed Mecole Hardman to be like a wide receiver number 2, a wide receiver number 3, and be like the focal point of this offense. We signed him to a 1-year deal up to $4 million. Okay? So I know that he has a lot of untapped potential. I was excited when we signed him. I felt like he was a good signing at the time. But let's not just pretend that the Jets gave him a long-term contract, gave him a lot of money, and we're not using him properly. The Jets gave him that contract with the focal point that he's going to be the starting kick return and punt returner for this Jets team. And then the Jets bring in Xavier Gibson into the undrafted free agency pool, and he leaps over him. So the Jets prefer to have a young guy that they can have for the long term over a guy, Mecole Hardman, that they'll have just for one season. So the Jets are looking for the future. Okay, I know that we're in a win-now season right now. We're 3-3 heading into the bye, but Jets fans need to realize there's also a bigger picture thing going on here. And I think that this is something that Jets fans need to really open their minds to. Like, this isn't really that big of a negative thing, in my opinion. I'm not sitting here like, oh, what a disgrace. Joe Douglas, the worst trade that he's ever made. Like, I'm not sitting there thinking that. I mean, you guys are entitled to what you want to believe, but I love that they're going with the young rookie in Xavier Gibson. I love that they're giving him the opportunity because next season, Mecole Hardman's a free agent. He's walking regardless. So let him go be happy, right? The Jets are doing right by Mecole Hardman personally. They want him to be a happy individual, and he's not happy with the Jets. Okay? So let's go trade him away, and let's let our young rookie, promising rookie, do what they need to do. Now, again, I don't think this is the last move that we're going to see from the New York Jets, and we could break that down more extensively. Guys, if you're just tuning into the show, please do your boy a solid favor. Hit that like button. We got over 300 people watching right now. It would really mean a lot to me, guys. Smash that thumbs up button. Let's get to 100 likes. We got 50 likes right now. Let's get to over 100 likes. And I'm really curious to hear your guys' thoughts in the chat about this trade. I'm sure there's a lot of confusion amongst the fan base. A lot of people scratching their heads. Why did the New York Jets do this? Well, I don't understand it. I mean, I broke it down already, but we're going to get deeper into it for sure. Where is Brownlee? Now, Jason Brownlee's still on the team, and I think that Jason Brownlee, this could open up a door for him potentially to make the to actually be activated. He's not been activated yet this season. Irvin Charles has been activated for special teams duties. He actually had some playing time at wide receiver, so definitely some things to consider. And listen, I think that there's a lot of different options out there for the Jets on the trade market. I think they're going to be buyers, but I also think there's some selling options for the Jets. You know, another guy to keep in mind that they could be trading away, I see some people in the chat talking about it, is Dalvin Cook, right? The Dalvin Cook experiment isn't really looking good, and we have another young player, a rookie, similar to Xavier Gibson, who's not getting any playing time, and that's Izzy Abanikanda. I think that Izzy Abanikanda is a guy that Jets fans are looking at like, hey, can we see Izzy? I mean, Dalvin Cook's not bringing anything to this offense. So it's either we just continue to go with the veteran of Dalvin Cook or the Jets move on from Dalvin Cook and they bring up Izzy Abanikanda. But then again, that's going to hurt the depth. And I don't want this Jets team to start trading away our offensive weapons if that means that we're going to all of a sudden be a not deep team. You know, what makes this Jets offense fun is the depth to it. And now the wide receiver position just took a big hit depth-wise, because behind Mecole Hardman now, and now that he's gone, again, it's Garrett Wilson, Al Nazar, Randall Cobb, Xavier Gibson. Those are your top 4 receivers. And then you got Jason Brownlee and Irvin Charles as the wide receivers 5 and wide receiver 6. And I don't think those two guys are really going to move the needle for the Jets, offensively speaking, if their name does get called. So, again, I would prefer the Jets to even go out there and make another trade, either for a receiver, dare I say Mike Evans. I know that Jerry Jeudy's name is being flirted around there. But at the end of the day, man, this trade is because the Jets are happy with what the development means for Xavier Gibson. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not concerned about this trade. I am not scratching my head. I am not ridiculing the Jets front office for this. They did right by Mecole Hardman. And that's what you could do as a good organization. You know, Mecole Hardman's frustrated with his role. He goes up to the New York Jets. He says, hey, listen, I understand you guys like Xavier Gibson. I understand that he's a rookie and he's playing good football. But if I'm not going to play, I'm on a 1-year contract. I need to play football if I'm going to hit the open market and get paid. And the Jets were like, you know what? You're not going to be playing with us because we like Xavier Gibson. Would you like to be traded? And I guarantee you, Mecole's like, yes, trade me back to my old team so I don't have to go to a new team and learn a whole new system. Bring me back to the Chiefs because I know that Patrick Mahomes and the offense is, you know, he knows it already in the back of his hand. So that's really what it comes down to for me. Mr. D with the super chat, appreciate you. Didn't Hardman come from KC? Yes. So this is a move where Mecole Hardman is very familiar with the offense. And I already know we're going to see highlights. We're going to see touchdowns to Mecole Hardman. And the Jets fans on Twitter are going to see, how come the Chiefs know how to use him? The man has been on the Chiefs for 4 years. He knows the system. He's going to be plugged in, and he's going to be putting up numbers 110%. I even might pick him up in fantasy football now that I might even... Hold on, guys. I'm going to go pick up Mecole Hardman in fantasy now that he just got traded. I'm adding that, man, right to my team. Who am I dropping, though? I don't know who to drop. Guys, go pick up Mecole Hardman in fantasy because he's going to be a focal point in that offense right away for the Kansas City Chiefs, no doubt about it. I mean, listen, you talk about a player who was not utilized at all with the New York Jets, and now he's being plugged back into a team that he knows very, very well. The system, you feel me? I mean, it is what it is. Christopher says, that was a waste of a trade by JD. Next time when you get a player, use him and don't waste his talent. Am I the only one that's not upset like Christopher? Because, again, I can't stress enough, the reason that the Jets have not used Mecole Hardman is because of the rise to the occasion of their rookie Xavier Gibson. Okay? That's the reason for it. And I'd rather have a rookie in Xavier Gibson that get reps than a veteran who's on a 1-year contract in Mecole Hardman. Am I alone here? I might be alone. Maybe I am alone. Don't really care. I'm used to being alone on an island. But that's just how I look at it, folks. That's simply how I look at it. I really don't think that this is, that big of a deal. If you ask me, who would you rather be on the field, Xavier Gibson or Mecole Hardman? I'm picking freaking Xavier Gibson. I mean, I know that Hardman has more experience, but Gibson is the future of this team, okay? And that's what it comes down to for me. I just picked up Hardman, dropped Kirk Cousins. Thank you, Kirk Cousins, for doing nothing. Gibson all day. Gibson, let's do it. Richie, please read out these amazing Gibson wide receiver stats that Hardman disposable. I don't know, maybe winning the game against the Buffalo Bills and returning a punt for a touchdown and winning special teams player of the week. Anything else you'd like me to say, wrong verb? Because you're forgetting the point that this guy is the starting punt returner and kick returner, and that's what we brought Mecole Hardman in for. This isn't just a wide receiver we're talking about. We're talking about special teams here, folks. Okay, we're talking about special teams. And I know that he came off a rough game against the Denver Broncos and muffed some punts, and that's going to happen as a rookie. There's going to be growing pains, but I'm willing to go through those growing pains, okay? The man won the damn game, literally, for the Jets. And we're going to just minimize it and not say Gibson has not had an impact on this team yet. He's not really had a lot of opportunities, right? It's not even like Xavier Gibson's going out there wide receiver and running a lot of routes and getting a lot of targets. He's not. Neither is Hardman. The wide receiver room is the majority. It's Garrett Wilson, Lazard, and Cobb are the three guys getting all the moves, right? So that's really what it comes down to for me, man. Like, I'm not sitting here and telling you guys, oh, Xavier Gibson's lighting it up, at a wide receiver. He's not. But you look at the job that he's done as a punt returner, he's been darn good. And I know that he's coming off against the Denver Broncos not that good in terms of muffing 2 punts. And that's expected for a rookie. And I'd rather go through the rookie pains for the future. Perfect point here. Why keep an unhappy player in the building? That's what I'm saying. The Jets have something special brewing in the locker room. The last thing they need is a disgruntled player not happy with their role. Okay? This Jets team is not afraid to do that. It happened with Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore is not happy here. You're gone. You're traded to the Cleveland Browns. I mean, if you show any signs of frustration of not putting the team first and you start showing some selfishness, you're going to be traded. Even if it's not in the beneficial, for the Jets organization, even if they don't get a good compensation back, the Jets prioritize culture over anything. Then JD signed guys who was prone to be disgruntled. That's a mistake. I mean, I don't know how that's a mistake. If you sign Mecole Hardman, right, and then you happen to find a gem in the undrafted free agency pool in Xavier Gibson, and if you're the New York Jets general manager, what would you prefer? A one-year deal that's a one-year rental, go for the short term of Mecole Hardman, or ride it out with the rookie who could be on this team for 4 seasons? How is that a mistake? It's a good problem to have. That's what I don't understand. I hate that people are turning this into a negative. Folks, yes, it's a problem, okay? But this is a great problem to have. It's a great problem to have. The Jets signed Mecole Hardman in March, and then in April, they bring in Xavier Gibson, and then throughout the summer, Xavier Gibson proves to the coaching staff that he deserves to be part of the 53-man roster. The man wins the game for us week 1 against the Buffalo Bills, and the Jets are like, wow, we want Xavier Gibson to keep developing. And now it's the GM's fault for signing Mecole Hardman in the first place. I don't know, man. You guys got to realize that it's hard to ask an organization to keep a player that doesn't want to be here because they're not being used. Mecole Hardman is on a 1-year deal, and he wants to play in order to make more money next year. Do you guys realize there's a business element to football, right? So the Jets, Mecole Hardman's, him and his camp, him and his agent are talking behind the scenes. Hey, I'm not playing with the Jets, and I'm on a 1-year rental deal. If I don't play, who's going to sign me next year for any money? So what happens? They go to Joe Douglas's office. Hey, you don't want to use me? Would you mind trading me away so I can be utilized so I can cash out my free agency next year? And the Jets were like, you know what? We'll do what's right for you. In my opinion, it's a good deed. It's good morals for the Jets organization, but I guess it's a negative for some. Mr. D with the $5. I thought Hardman left KC for not being utilized more. Just a thought. But what did the Jets get out of this trade? So the Jets basically didn't really get a lot. They moved up from the 7th round to the 6th round in the 2025 draft. That's it. They traded away Mecole Hardman in a 2025 7th round pick, and they got back a 2025 6th round pick. So again, they moved up from the 7th round to the 6th round. That's it. Sean, member for 2 months, says, "Sup, Richie, how you doing? I see this is a huge win. We get a little more cap space and a better draft pick, which it may only be a 6th, but that's better than a 7th. Jets, 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 Jets." Thank you, Sean. I appreciate that. And yeah, man, not that much of a big deal in terms of like the draft compensation and the compensation we got in the trade. But again, the Jets want to get rid of a disgruntled player who is not being utilized because of the guy of Xavier Gibson. Sean says, "You missed my 2-month member message." My apologies, Sean. I just read it. Thank you for being a member for 2 months, Sean. I appreciate that, brother. Again, sorry for the late reading it. Hemlock says, "What if DJ Moore becomes available?" I'd be shocked if DJ Moore becomes available. He just got traded to Chicago. I don't see him getting traded, even though the Chicago Bears seem to be a little mess right now. I definitely don't see the Bears moving on from DJ Moore. I could be wrong, but I don't know. The guys I'm looking at for a trade would be more Jerry Jeudy. I don't know if the Bucs want to get rid of Mike Evans. I know they don't have him on a contract, but that's something to keep in mind for sure. We'll see, man. I mean, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. So I think that, Carl Lawson and Dalvin Cook are the 2 names that a lot of people are throwing out there as potential people. So that's something to keep in mind. Cortland Sutton, T. Higgins maybe. Maybe Corey Davis is coming back. And I completely forgot about that. Corey Davis retiring definitely hurt the depth of this team. So we went into the season with Corey Davis, Hardman, with Garrett Wilson, Lazard, and Cobb. And now Davis retires. We move off of Hardman, but, we're replacing Hardman with Gibson, so it's not that much of a loss. But there is a depth thing that I'm looking at with this Jets team that I got to be able to hopefully see a little bit more production out of. But folks, if you're enjoying the show here, guys, hit that thumbs up button. And also, if you're new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. Your boy is so close to 20,000 subscribers. And if you guys want to help out, we have over 550 people watching right now. And if you guys are new to the channel, my name is Richie. I go live here on Jets Media pretty much every day. I go live for every Jets game as well. I lose my mind whether we win or whether we lose. If you want to tune into more Jets Media content here, guys, it would mean a lot to me if you could simply hit that subscribe button. Follow along. Any NFL fan is welcome here. We got a lot of AFC East fans tuning into Jets Media and a lot of other NFL fan bases. And whether you're a fan of the Jets or you're a fan of any other team, you're more than welcome to tune in. Love having all you guys in here. So let's get into the chat and hear what you guys have to say more about it. Brownlee may get some looks. Yeah, Jason Brownlee is a guy that the Jets, he made the roster. He hasn't had any impact on this team. He hasn't had any even ability to play football in terms of being active on the roster for a game day. So maybe the Jets have confidence in Jason Brownlee's development behind closed doors, that if an injury does happen, Brownlee is that next man up. Keep Cook, cut Carter. That is an interesting one. I disagree with that. Get those likes up. Let's get those likes up, baby. We have over 500 people watching, only 130 likes. We could do better than that. Come on now. Cook will just get better. It's a new system, and he just needs time. Relax. Sheesh. Yeah, I personally, if I'm being honest, would rather keep Dalvin Cook. I don't think trading Dalvin Cook makes any sense. We are in a season where we are going for the playoffs, folks. We are at 3-3, and I know that we signed Dalvin Cook, and I know that he's been a little underwhelming, and I know that we have a promising rookie running back in Izzy Abanikanda who we want to get some looks. But hey, I think trading away Dalvin Cook makes no sense. Absolutely no sense. If we were losing and we were 1-5 or something like that, yeah, you trade Dalvin Cook for something. But right here, right now, at this point, I don't see the Jets trading away Dalvin Cook. I understand the perspective of, hey, let's go completely young. Let's get Izzy some reps. I get that, and I know that Dalvin is a little, slow compared to what we expected him to. But I don't know, man. He's definitely been underwhelming this season, but I'd rather keep Dalvin Cook. I don't know. I might be in the minority here. Should we trade for Hunter Renfrow? That's another guy that I've seen his name get circled. He's an interesting guy. I feel like he is, he was really good for the Raiders for a few years. And now Devontae Adams is over there. Myers is over there. I don't know. I would like more depth at wide receiver. That's for sure. Actually, what is the deal with MC32? I was expecting a bounce-back season, and he has multiple crucial drops. He hasn't really had a lot of reps. I think that's the biggest issue with Michael Carter is he's out there on third down pass reps because he's the best Jets running back at pass protection. And he has had two drops, crucial drops. But at the end of the day, I think that Michael Carter will be all right, man. Do you like the trade? The trade, compensation-wise, is what I expected. We're not getting anything out of it. The Jets did right by a player. I'm not complaining because I like who we have. I like what we have in Xavier Gibson. Where's the love for Abanikanda? I got all the love for Izzy, man. I think Izzy Abanikanda is a darn good running back that has not got an opportunity to play yet this season. But I also don't think it means we just, send off Dalvin Cook when we start. Trading Mecole Hardman, trading away Dalvin Cook, and trading away Carl Austin. You know what that sounds like? That sounds like a team that's selling. I want to be buying. I want this Jets team to be buying. Feel me? The top 2 rounds of the upcoming draft have a bunch of interesting wide receiver prospects. Is it worth to wait or get a veteran now? It's definitely, you could wait. I'm not even looking at the draft right now. The Jets are not going to have a second-round pick, so they're only going to have a first-round pick. But listen, I think that the Jets, if they want to get aggressive, they want to trade for a wide receiver, they definitely can. Let's do it. Yeah, Gibson is quickness and speed, for sure. Do you think Bryce Huff gets an extension with us? I sure hope so. If there's one play, like this is the move that Joe Douglas just made. Okay, turn the corner right now and talk to Bryce Huff's agent and get that contract extension happening ASAP, because Bryce Huff is literally playing like one of the best pass rushers in the entire NFL. So the Jets got to get him on the phone, the agents, and lock him up for the bye week right now. Michael with the generous $5 super chat. I appreciate that, my man. He says, relax, everyone. This is not a horrible move. Trust JD. This won't be the only move. I want to be buying too. Keep it up, Richie. JETS. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate the support, man. Really, really do appreciate it. I don't know. I know that Michael agrees with me, and listen, no one's going to agree with everything that happens with this Jets football team. That's the beauty of being a sports YouTuber. That's the beauty of doing what I do, is we spark debate, we spark conversation, we disagree, we, see both sides of the coin, and that's what I've been doing, man. Appreciate the love, Michael. Really do appreciate that. But at the end of the day, guys, just a little update of the draft compensation that the Jets got in return for Mecole Hardman. If you're new to the show and you're just hearing the news for the first time, the Jets have traded Mecole Hardman to his old team, the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Jets get back a 2025 6th-round pick, and they send away a 2025 7th-round pick. So they basically move up from the 7th round into the 6th round in the 2025 NFL draft. Not this coming draft, but the draft after. So not a big trade in terms of compensation-wise, but I do think that this is one of those moves that tells you it's like a culture move where Mecole Hardman was very unhappy with his role. And again, I'll re-say it. When you're a player like Mecole Hardman on a 1-year deal, you want to play to prove to the open market in the offseason that you want to get paid. And I hate that Jets fans and other people are making it seem like we signed Mecole Hardman to this huge contract that he was going to be the focal point of this team. The man signed a 1-year, $4 million contract. You have any idea how cheap that is? You have any idea? Like, no disrespect to Mecole Hardman. I was really excited when we signed him. But can we stop pretending that we signed Hardman to be like the focal point of this team? Can we start celebrating the development of our young rookie gem? Come on now. Let's go. And I'm actually happy for Mecole Hardman. He's going to a team that he knows the system. He's got to thrive. And I know that some Jets fans are going to quote tweet the video of Mahomes throwing a 70-yard touchdown bomb to Hardman, say, see, look what happens when you utilize him. Well, you're forgetting the fact that he's going into a team that he understands the entire system already, doesn't need to learn anything new. Obviously, he was behind the 8 ball learning hacket system, which is pretty complicated in the first season. That's how I look at it. That's just how I look at it, man. And I think, this is a good point as well. Things changed when Aaron went down. I think that, Aaron Rodgers had a big say in the development of Mecole Hardman. I think that the Jets are going to be more of a spread out vertical offense with, splitting out 5 wide, getting Hardman the ball vertically. And I do think that the injury to Aaron Rodgers had a lot to do with it as well. Didn't Cobb replace Gibson as punt returner? Just last week against the Eagles he did. I don't think that's going to be for the rest of the season. I think that, the Jets went with the sure hands over the explosiveness of returning. I think they just probably told Randall Cobb, hey, call fair catch and catch the ball, because of Gibson coming off 2 drops, 2 muff punts against the Broncos. And listen, rookie stuff happens. And also, Xavier Gibson was dealing with an ankle injury. He was questionable. So that also has something to do with maybe they did not want to risk further injury to Xavier Gibson returning the punt. So, off the bye week, I'm pretty sure Xavier Gibson, he's going to be returning punts in the kicks returns for the New York Jets against the New York Giants after the bye week. Hardman did no wrong here. He took it like a man. Happy for him now. Me too. And that's how we should look at this, folks. That's how we should look at this. Mecole Hardman did nothing wrong. He was brought here. The Jets found a gem in Gibson. And he was did not make this into drama. Went to the Jets behind closed doors and told them how he feels. Hey, I want to be traded. I want to be utilized properly. And the Jets were like, you got it. Where would you like to go? I would like to go back to my old team. Can you make that happen? And the Jets are like, sure, we'll make it happen. And it happened. Done. I mean, it's that simple. It's that clean. People have to complicate it a little bit. Now I am curious to see where the Jets go from here in terms of the trade. The trade deadline is approaching, and I don't really see them as sellers. I see them as buyers. So I think that the Jets are about to be aggressive, and they do have a move underneath their sleeve. Because if they do want to be aggressive and go all in for the playoffs this season, they have an opportunity to do it. They still got some cap space. Trading away Hardman also frees up some money as well if you're talking about cap. So this is definitely some things that the Jets have to keep in mind heading into this season, man. This trade deadline, which is approaching in these next few weeks. Folks, we have well over 700 people watching, so please hit that like button right now. Let's get to over 200 likes. If we have over 700 people watching, no, not even 200 likes, I might be doing something wrong. Guys, hit that like button for your boy, and also, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'm live here on Jets Media every day. We go live for every Jets game. I cover everything to do with the New York Jets, and we also talk a lot about the NFL. So if you guys are new to the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. Help me out. I'm so close to the next goal of 20,000 subscribers. That is a gigantic milestone. And if you guys want to help out your boy, simply smash that subscribe button while you're watching this right now, guys. Would really, really appreciate that. Let's go. Next to get a new wide receiver, Cobb has no place on this team, and Lazard has too many mistakes, in my opinion. Now, am I the only one, again, that really, like, values Randall Cobb? I mean, Randall Cobb obviously isn't anything. He's not going to take the top off the defense. He's not going to do this. I know that he had a drop. But, like, Randall Cobb has so much impact on this team that we don't see with our eyes. It's the ability to understand Hackett's system. He's the translator on the field. He's a security blanket for Zach Wilson. And, like, I don't know. He's just a reliable veteran. And I'm, like, one of the only Jets fans that actually does not mind Randall Cobb. That's me. Here for the memes with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, my man. I appreciate that. Sup, Richie? Judy is a Jet. Enjoy your week. Hey, now that'll be interesting. If the Jets go out there and, you know, trade away Mecole Hardman to bring in Jerry Jeudy, that would be very, very interesting. Can you imagine that? Now, I'm not going to sit here with a straight face and say that's happening. I don't know. First of all, Jerry Jeudy was one of my favorite players coming out of the draft, that draft class. And then he just been an absolute mess. And I don't know if that's because of the Broncos mess or it's because of he's just overrated. I don't know. But the one thing about Jerry Jeudy that you have to realize is he knows Hackett's system. He was in Hackett's system last year. So you never know. You never know. I must have overlooked something like Hackett's system with Cobb. Yeah, guys, the Randall Cobb's impact with this team goes beyond the box score, beyond the receptions, touchdowns, and yards. He's helping the development of Zach Wilson, guys. And that's something that people don't get. Like, Zach Wilson's still progressing, and he's showing really good signs of improvement. And Randall Cobb is such a good veteran to be in that huddle with Zach, you know, coaching him up, keeping him calm, keeping him even-keeled, telling him exactly where to go. Like, Randall Cobb's doing things that us Jets fans don't get to see, that I happen to appreciate a lot. Hardman lost his spot last year on the Chiefs. Stop acting like he's something special. And that's really what it comes down to. Like, I was excited when the Jets signed him. But, like, we signed him to a one-year, $4 million contract, and I don't like that Jets fans are turning this into, like, we brought this guy in to be the guy. What? No, he didn't. We brought him in to be part of this team, be the starting punt returner and kick returner, and be the gadget guy. Guess what? The Jets found a gem in Xavier Gibson. I'm not complaining. If you're complaining still, keep complaining. Courtland Sutton would help in the red zone more than Jerry Jeudy. Yeah, Courtland Sutton is another guy to keep in mind for sure. If the Denver Broncos are actually going to blow up that team, we shall see. You are reaching with the speculation there, man. Zach needs another wide receiver that can get open more than some hypothetically rah-rah factor out of Cobb. Now, I hear you. I'm not saying that, you know, we shouldn't trade for a receiver to replace Randall Cobb in the lineup, but listen, he was brought here for a reason. And in his own words, in Aaron Rodgers' own words, he is the translator for Hackett and Rodgers' system. So I take that with a lot of value, personally. I think there's a lot of things behind closed doors that we don't understand as fans. I don't understand as a fan. We all don't understand because we're not there. We're not in the meetings. We're not in the huddles. We're not at practice. Like, I really genuinely believe that Randall Cobb has an impact, and him and Lazard both. They were brought here for a reason, to be the security blanket for Aaron Rodgers, and now they're the veteran security blanket for Zach Wilson. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't go out there and make a trade for a receiver because we have Randall Cobb. Don't twist my words. I just don't think that he should be riding the bench or anything like that. I mean, he had a phenomenal two-point conversion. I mean, that throw by Zach Wilson and that two-point conversion was really beautiful. Squeeze it in the Cobb. Cobb got lit up over the middle, held on to it. So it is what it is, man. And you guys can keep hating on Randall Cobb all you want. I don't really care. Like, if you're going to say Cobb is trash, go for it. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and say that. Randall Cobb is a veteran receiver who is a seasoned vet. He's a quality player on this team, and I'm not going to sit here and hype him up to go out there and put up 100 yards and a touchdown. But he is a guy that he's a reliable guy I like on the Jets, personally. I don't get why Saleh's all hyped over Wilson. I have a feeling Saleh going to push Rodgers out the door if Jets barely make the playoffs. Bruh, I mean, I think Robert Saleh deserves credit for backing Zach Wilson when the entire world was against him. Because the Jets are now on a 2-game winning streak, and their defense is cooking right now. Their run game is getting some rhythm, and their special teams is absolutely dominating. So I think that the Jets, Saleh, if you want to call it hyping up or just defending his quarterback, I love that he did that. I absolutely love that he did that. People are so dumb. Of course, leadership and experience brings a lot of value. You know, some people just look at the numbers and don't realize there's so many other elements to the game of football besides just touchdowns and receptions and yards. But hey, it is what it is. Richie, you have a chance to win every hand if you can get 4 turnovers a game. Well, the New York Jets defense, Glenn, what did they do? They forced Josh Allen into 3 turnovers. They forced Patrick Mahomes into 2 turnovers, should have been more. And they forced 4 turnovers. So I'm so sick of the narrative that people like to spin. Oh, the Jets only win because the quarterbacks allow them to because of their mistakes. How about the Jets defense is the reason for those turnovers, Glenn? How about C.J. Mosley punching out the ball and forcing that fumble? How about Jermaine Johnson getting into Jalen Hurts' face and hitting his arm and forcing it up into an interception by Bryce Hall? How about Tony Adams showing blitz and backing up and intercepting Jalen Hurts? I mean, when are we going to start giving the Jets defense some credit for forcing these turnovers and not think it's just some type of fluke and you can't rely on these turnovers to win you games? Yes, the Jets defense won the game against the Eagles, and they're going to continue to win games for the rest of the season. What's going on with Brownlee? So Jason Brownlee's still on the team. I don't really know. He hasn't been active yet, but I think that, you know, with Mecole Hardman leaving, he may have an opportunity here. And I agree 100%. Give Saleh a lot of credit for ignoring the mob and sticking with Zach. We don't have a better option, so we all should support Zach. Exactly. When are we going to start giving Saleh that credit? Like, the entire world, including Jets fans, wanted Robert Saleh to go to the podium and say, Zach Wilson stinks, he's going to the bench. Instead, he stood up there and said exactly what everybody did not want him to say. Zach is our quarterback. He's going to be the quarterback for the rest of the season, and we did not sign Trevor Siemian to replace him. We signed Trevor Siemian to be depth behind him. And that brought everybody to a frenzy. And what does Zach Wilson do the next week? He goes up there and outperforms Patrick Mahomes, unfortunately in a loss, and then he goes out there and wins back-to-back games with turnover-free football. I mean, come on. Is Carter Warren going to contribute on the offensive line? I hope not, because that means we have another injury. Carter Warren is definitely, you know, he's active. He's a rookie. He was injured throughout training camp, so I don't know how ready he is. But I hope Carter Warren does not contribute, because that means either one of Max Mitchell or Macai Becton gets injured. Saleh's likable players coach. He needs to do better clock management. I mean, the only clock management flaw he's had this season was what? That Denver Broncos mishap in the before halftime. I think his clock management has. When are we going to give him the praise for the clock management in the Eagles game? Because I thought he did a great job there. Um, After the Bills game, I wasn't too sure about this defense. I thought it was just Josh Allen having a bad day, but after KC and the Eagles, it's clear that this is what this defense will do to your elite quarterback. Yes, like it's no more flukes. And who remembers last year, all of the dude, like every single player, or excuse me, every single fan was like, oh, the Jets defense is overrated. What quarterbacks did they verse last year? Backups, backups, backups. That was their argument, right? And it wasn't the Jets' fault. We versed backup quarterbacks because that was on our schedule and we dominated them. Do I have to remind you that the Jets still have not given up a 300-yard passer in like a season and a half, and we're still going up against elite quarterbacks? Woo. Come on now. A little offensive line depth, and I love our tight end group. Would really like to see more Ruckert. I agree. I think Jeremy Ruckert is ascending as a player. He deserves more playing time. 110%. Will we be able to move Carl Lawson? Does any team want him? I don't know if any team's going to want him. And me personally, I'm going to say it again. I think it'll be a mistake moving off from Carl Lawson. I don't think he has a future here. I think he's going to walk in free agency this season. But we are in a win-now mode. And, like, first of all, God forbid we are fully healthy at defensive line. But if we suffer an injury, we need Carl Lawson there for depth. And, you know, Bryce Huff, Will McDonald, and Jermaine Johnson are the future at that position. And the Jets are not stubborn enough to play Carl Lawson over those guys, right? Will McDonald deserves a little more playing time, in my opinion. But I'd rather, for the Jets to go on a playoff push, keep a guy like Carl Lawson in case of an injury, a veteran who is, you know, dealing with a back issue, who is not the same old Carl Lawson that we loved when we first signed him. But we don't need to rely on him. We got Bryce Huff. We got JJ. We got JFM. What do you think we're going to do with Dwayne Brown? This is a great question. I don't know. Dwayne Brown is eligible to come off injured reserve after the bye. And if I'm the Jets, I am not moving Macai Becton. I mean, he is playing his best football of his life at left tackle right now. The worst thing we can do is move Macai back to the right tackle spot. And also, dare I mention, Laken Tomlinson, the New York Jets left guard, has been phenomenal ever since Macai Becton moved to the left side. I mean, what happened there? First time Laken Tomlinson gets to line up next to Macai Becton, and Laken Tomlinson's playing his best football in his Jets career. So I don't think the Jets should move Macai Becton because Dwayne Brown is a left tackle. He's someone that does not play right tackle. So I like Dwayne to be activated as depth, but I think you just run it with Macai at left tackle, and hopefully Max Mitchell can continue to improve at right tackle. But at the end of the day, when Dwayne Brown does return, that is an interesting situation the Jets have to attack. To be honest, I think it was a bad idea to get McDonald when our D-line is literally unstoppable. Could have got a wide receiver. Well, the Jets just wanted to add more to their best position for the future. That was more of a draft pick, you know, to develop because, listen, Jermaine Johnson in year one, a little underwhelming. Don't sleep on my man Will McDonald. He's coming, right? We can't expect every rookie for this Jets team to be Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson and be rookie of the years. Like, Will McDonald is going to be a good player. You could see the little flashes he's showing. And, yes, he is. He got drafted onto a team where the defensive line is not a weakness. But I think it's way too premature to write off that draft pick. Way too premature, in my opinion. I think if we get Tippmann back, we're going to be okay, but we can't lose anyone else. Yeah, I don't know about Joe Tippmann, guys. I think that injury might be serious. We won't be able to keep all the guys forever. We need to replace some of them with new JD knows what he's doing. Yeah, JD knows what he's doing, man. 100%. I heard Jason Peters at one point played guard. Maybe Brown can do that also? I mean, that would be crazy. I don't see that happening. I got to disagree, Rich. All this X is long-term, but what if Garrett gets hurt? I would much rather have Lazard and Mecole instead of Lazard and Cobb. Well, at this point, and I agree with this, I think that the Jets' depth is going to get hurt. But you have to realize that the Jets have an interesting conversation with Mecole Hardman. They can't tell him because what the Jets wanted to do, Nick, is this: Hardman, you're the backup. That's what they told him straight up. If there's an injury, you're the next man up. But right now, there's no injuries, so you're on the bench. So Mecole Hardman heard that. He's like, okay, I'm not going to sit here and wait for an injury. Trade me. Like, the Jets wanted Mecole Hardman on the team. Don't get that twisted. The Jets would prefer Mecole Hardman to ride it out this season and stay with this Jets team and be the backup receiver. But you have to put your mind in Hardman's situation. That's what people are forgetting. You got to be the agent of Mecole Hardman. You have to be Mecole Hardman himself. He wants to go to a place where he can actually play football in a season where he is going to be a free agent next year. So this was the best case for Hardman. The Jets did right by Hardman. That's what the difference is, guys. The Jets did right by Mecole Hardman. Samini talked like it's possible Corey Davis comes back. Wow, can you imagine that? I'd welcome that so fast. Hit the like button. Thank you for reminding the people, Raya 15. Guys, hit the like button. We're at 250 likes. Wow, we can do better than that. Come on now. Let's hit that like button. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Over 700 people watching live, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you are indeed new, baby. Let's get it. If he sucks, then y'all should just trade for Patrick Mahomes. Just offer them a 4th-round pick with Zach Wilson. They're going to accept the trade. What? My man made me lag with this comment. Hit the red sub button. Let him know, Zachary. Let's go. Before we start calling Saleh JD the best Jet combination in their history, can they make the playoffs? Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone's crowning them to be the best at ever, but there's reason to be excited. There's definitely reason to be excited and hopeful. But yes, they have to make the playoffs. No doubt about it, especially at this point. Just got home from work. Who did the Jets get? The Jets got nobody in return. They just got a draft pick. Adams wants to play with Rodgers. Jets should go after him. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm down for that. Why weren't we using Mecole? I just don't get it. Well, the Jets felt like Xavier Gibson was a better player this season. That's the reason, man. That's the reason. No playoff talk. Bro, I'm out. What do you mean no playoff talk? Want me to talk playoffs? We talking playoffs. Let's get to the damn playoffs. What does this mean? No playoff talks. He's out. My man Egan's out. All right. Later, bro. Thanks for tuning in. That's true. We were supposed to have Corey too, so we should have got a receiver. Would Cobb be in the game if Corey was still here? Yes, probably. Only 275 likes. We have 680 watching. Only Fins fans get that low likes. LOL. Yeah, let them know. Let them know. Milk, I agree. Saleh has a long way to go, but a lot of his staff issues will look different if they had a viable top 15 quarterback last 2 years. 100%, bro. You give Robert Saleh an actual quarterback, which we went out there and got in Aaron Rodgers. Bro. And listen, we got some promising signs of improvement from Zach. He's slowly maturing. But it's true. It's true. We are winning a game in the playoffs this season. Yes, we are, baby. We're not only making the playoffs, we're winning in the playoffs. Let him know, Sean. Let him know. Gibson earned his spot and, dare I say, has better hands than Hardman. Uh-oh, don't say that, Nico. They're going to come after you. They're going to come after you. This is Elijah Moore all over again. If you're a player on this team that puts yourself over the team, you're going to get traded. I mean, that's the culture here. And I kind of like it. Jets outscored our last 3 opponents 42-11 in the second half. Just had to throw that stat out there. Yeah, let's talk playoffs. If we get going early, we can win at least another 8 or 9 games. Facts, facts, facts. Come on now. AFC's roundtable can't wait. The AFC's roundtable about to go crazy tonight, baby. 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Tune in. Rich, you need more bend in that hat, bro. There is bend in this hat. What do you mean? You need more bend? There we go. That's for you, Indy Jets. AFC's roundtable, 7:40 p.m. Eastern time tonight. Best stats so far in 6 games. The New York Jets have only allowed 1 freaking touchdown in the second half. 1 touchdown. Playoff team. I would rather have Lazard than Elijah Moore. Yeah, I mean, Alan Lazard is definitely coming off a bad game. Had that crucial penalty and then a crucial drop. But, yeah, I think Alan Lazard is a more reliable guy for sure. And he's also, like, a good teammate. He's a good leader, and that's where Elijah wasn't really looking good. I'm surprised La'el Collins hasn't signed yet. I think we need him. Yeah. Can only imagine how good this team would be if Rodgers was healthy. Both offense and defense, having a quarterback, most important position in all sports, means almost everything to an organization. I think all of the hype around the Jets being Super Bowl favorites, or dare I say contenders with Aaron Rodgers, is proved to be correct if we had Aaron Rodgers after what we're seeing from this team so far this season. Guys, just ignore that guy in the chat. Don't even. Jets have to change the field at MetLife, in my opinion, or they will keep losing players to the turf monster. Yeah, even Garrett Wilson is freaking, calling out the turf. And when that happens, when your own star is calling the turf garbage, you got to be able to do that. Let's go. Come on now, guys. Into the Shadow Realm he goes. Why is Izzy not playing an F? It effing sucks. I'm out of the Cook experiment. Yeah, I know a lot of Jets fans are saying that. Watching Mecole Hardman on Hard Knocks, I always felt he was the one player that had some toxic me energy on the team, so I'm not surprised they didn't play him and now traded him. I am for it. Yeah, I think that a lot of Jets fans also don't realize that there's a lot of things going on behind closed doors that we don't know. Okay? That's also what it comes down to. Like, there's a lot of things behind closed doors we just don't know. First time really listening to your live. Good job. Very reasonable analysis. Well, thank you for tuning in for your first time. I appreciate that. We got some new listeners today. I hope you guys are enjoying it. With all due respect, Jets didn't use Hardman the right way. Chiefs know how to. Well, I'll actually counter this. The Jets didn't use him at all. So you are right. I think Mecole Hardman's going to go to the Chiefs and thrive 110%. I actually just picked him up in fantasy for that reason. People have to stop slandering Mecole. By all accounts, he was a good teammate. Yeah, I think that, he could have made this so much of a worse situation than it is. I don't have anything bad to say about him personally. I really don't. I think that, he saw Gibson come take his job, and behind closed doors, he probably told the coaching staff from the front office his frustrations in a respectful manner, and they granted his access of trading him. Gibson over Hardman. Facts. Do you think there was a problem with Hardman in-house? I think that the Jets just don't want any player that's upset with their role. That's really what comes down to it. Again, Hardman could have made this a lot more of an issue. Like, when he was interviewed last week, he could have made this into a huge, huge issue. But he didn't. He didn't. Hackett's scheme doesn't call for gadget guys the way Reed or McDaniels does. Love McColl's skill set, but we got rid of a fan favorite in Berrios for the same reason. Yeah, when a fan favorite goes, that's really what happens. So, again, guys, if you're just tuning into the show for the first time, we have some breaking Jets and NFL news. Mecole Hardman is traded back to the Kansas City Chiefs. The Jets get a 6th-round pick in the 2025 draft, and the Jets trade away Hardman and a 2025 7th-round pick. So we basically move up from the 7th-round pick to the 6th-round pick. Can't be mad he wants to play, especially that he is on a contract year, right? He has no, he wants to get paid. Mecole Hardman wants to make money. He's on a 1-year, $4 million contract, and it's up this season. So he wants to go get paid in the offseason. He's not going to get paid if he's riding the bench all year, so he's probably like, hey, trade me. I mean, I don't blame him. Bottom line is we have a less expensive guy in Gibson that does the same job Mecole could do. Dare I add to this, for long term. Exactly. I mean, this is what I'm saying. That's why I don't get why everyone's so upset. I take that back. Not everybody. Some people are upset. I don't see it. This is a problem, but it's a good problem to have. Let him go back to his team that he's comfortable with and let him go compete. And we'll see you in the playoffs, Mecole. How about that? That would be cool. How sick would it be if we make it to the playoffs and had to play the Chiefs and Hardman gets 2 to 3 touchdowns? Now, that would hurt. 100%. Berrios is literally one of the bottom-ranked wide receivers in all football last season. We had cash and thought we would help. Now we get some cash and draft capital back. Go Gibson. In JD we trust. There we go, Darren. Someone just say bring back Denzel Mims. Oh, gosh. Jerome Cap? We can do better than that. We are going to get an upgrade. I really do believe that the New York Jets are going to go out there and make a play for another guy in the trade. Blake Cashman going off for Houston right now. Yeah, that's something that's really interesting. Now, the issue with Blake Cashman with the Jets is never his production. It's him staying healthy. Are Jets fans upset that they got rid of Mecole? Some of them are. Gibson, Brownlee, Charles, and Taylor gave the Jets more than they expected and made Mecole expendable. JD then rewarded him for being patient and a good teammate by putting him in a good position. It's that simple. See? RW breaks it down perfectly right here. This is it. It's not that complicated. Richie, would you rather beat the Pats and split with them or lose to them but sweep the Bills and the Dolphins? That's a good question. I'd rather, honestly, I much rather. So it's either we get swept by the Pats, but that means we sweep the Bills and the Dolphins, and we'll be 4-2 in the division. I'll do that. Screw it. Let the Patriots winning streak continue, and we will, because that'll also help out the Patriots not get the number 1 overall pick, and us sweeping the Bills and the Dolphins would be pretty damn cool. Who's available for us to get? Well, the trade deadline is approaching, so we have to keep in mind. I think that more of those rumors are going to start speculating on which wide receivers. The Denver Broncos are a team to look out for. Whatever teams are selling. Really wish we could give these gadget receivers more opportunities on first down, screens, and bubble plays instead of play action. We need more 2 and short opportunities. Yeah, we do. We need to stay ahead of the sticks. How do you refuse to use Mecole? He was a huge weapon in KC. There has to be something going on behind closed scenes. Again, man, the system that Hackett runs is not one that relies on gadget plays similar to the Andy Reid-led offense. So Mecole Hardman was brought here to be the starting punt returner and the kick returner and to be a vertical threat. Then the Jets got Xavier Gibson, and he does all those things. So the Jets preferred to go cheaper and stick with Gibson. That's it. That's the reason. That's simple. Zach does play action very well. Yeah, he does. He's improved his ball fake a lot lately. I really, really am enjoying that. Zach Wilson's play action is the cleanest in the leagues. It's cool because you see Aaron Rodgers have an impact on that, no doubt about it. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is rubbing off of Zach Wilson. You see it. You definitely see it. That's for sure. I mean, guys, we have some breaking news that we went over this morning. The New York Jets have traded away Mecole Hardman back to the Kansas City Chiefs. Breaking news. Now, this isn't shocking to me. This is news that I expected happening either this week or next week leading up to the deadline. So I really think that this is something that I knew was going to happen. It was just a matter of when, matter what team. We'll see it. I need more Ruckert. He has been a beast, and he seems to have lit a fire under Conklin. Conklin is becoming a damn monster. So shout out to Tyler Conklin. He's definitely becoming a very good player for these New York Jets on offense, and I cannot wait to continue to see him thrive in this offense, in the tight end heavy offense, dare I add, with the New York Jets. Guys, we're at 327 likes. If you guys are new to the show, don't forget to smash that like button on your way in. Also, if you guys want to help out your boy, we are nearing 20,000 subscribers. So close to 20,000 subs. If you guys want to help your boy out, we are at 19,864 subscribers, and there's 580 people in here, and I bet you not every single one of you guys subscribe. So hit that subscribe button if you want to help out your boy. Hit that milestone of 20K, which would be a big-time milestone for your boy. Giants fan here. Respect to the New York Jets. Never seen this coming. Well, respect to you. I was rooting for the Giants, probably the hardest in my life on Sunday Night Football, and I am so upset that they cannot beat the Buffalo Bills, sincerely. Really wish you guys were able to pull that game off because the Jets would have leaped ahead of the Buffalo Bills, and we would be in second place in the division right now, but that's not the case. So, appreciate you tuning in, and good luck to your Giants, man. Sorry that you're dealing with all those injuries and the Giants are not playing the best football and, what you would want them to be doing. So respect to you. Indy Jets is back. Hit the like and sub. Thank you, man. Thank you. Uzama, not so much. Yeah, CJ is just like there. That's what it feels like. CJ is just there. Let's trade for Adam Thielen. The Panthers are not trading Adam Thielen. Remember, it takes two to tango. The Jets can't be like, hey, we want Adam Thielen. They're like, okay, here he is. The Panthers are not giving away Bryce Young's most favorite weapon so far in his rookie season. It's not happening. Hunter Renfrow could be a nice addition. Yes, absolutely could be a nice addition. He's that slot guy that is a route technician. I know that he's not like dominating like he was a few years back, but definitely something. Thielen has been a beast. He really has been. There's no need to sign Hardman knowing Hackett doesn't use gadget players. We signed Hardman to be our punt returner and kick returner as well, mister. So, yeah. Exactly. We signed him to be our special teams punt returner and kick returner. And then we brought in Xavier Gibson, and he showed to the coaching staff, oh, wait, we might have something here. Do you think Mike Evans will be there at the trade deadline like the rumors say? And do you think we should go for him? Now, you look at the Buccaneers. Aren't they 3-2? I know they just come off a loss, but like, why would the Bucs want to trade away Baker Mayfield's best weapon? I know that he might be moving on in the offseason because they didn't extend him, but if you're the Buccaneers, why are you trading away Baker Mayfield's top guy if you're in a race to win that division? Which, by the way, that division's up in the air. Let's go. Need to sign a guard. Now, if there is a position I want the Jets to add, it's definitely a guard. With Joe Tippmann getting injured, we are really, really thin on the interior offensive line and even tackle. I mean, we lost AVT for the season. We lost Joe Tippmann for an extended period of time. And now we're down to Laken Tomlinson and Wes Schweitzer as our two guards. That's it. Who will win 10-29? Giants or Jets? I'm trying to be there no matter what. The Jets are going to win it. Austin says, Richie, is there a roundtable show tonight? Yes, there will be a roundtable show tonight, Austin. I didn't make the show yet. I didn't make the link, but there will indeed be a roundtable show, the AFC's roundtable. Rucker to Tippmann have absolutely buried people. Look at Bryce's big runs. You'll see those two nailing multiple people. Absolutely, man. They've been excellent, excellent people. Ruckert is going to be part of the solution for our offensive line's losses. Yeah, I think the Jets really have to use him a lot in the run game. And even for max protect in the pass game, I'll take that. Renfro isn't producing because they aren't using him. He has 9 targets in 5 games. Clearly nothing more than a day 3 pick needed to get him because he's not in their plans. At the same time, call me crazy, but if the Jets are calling the Raiders for a wide receiver, bring me Devontae Adams. Come on, let me dream a little bit. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Well, today was a crazy day for the Jets. It is the bye week, but it is not over, right? Just because we're not playing this week does not mean that the Jets are not going to go out there and make some moves. And this is a big move that happened pretty expectedly, timing-wise. I expected this to happen for sure. I know you guys in the chat are probably expected this, unless some people came, was blindsided by this. Need to get Cook going, and we need more play action from Zach. Can we just live in a hypothetical world if Dalvin Cook actually does start cooking? Imagine Dalvin Cook starts being Dalvin Cook, and whenever Breece Hall is resting, Dalvin Cook is getting first downs, maybe even scoring tutties. Who knows? Who knows? You never know. And by the way, dare I add this. The New York Jets versed 4 top 10 defenses in the first 6 games. They don't have a top 10 defense. They have 1 top 10 defense in their next 6 games. And that's against the Buffalo Bills, who they already beat. So now's the time for the offense to start clicking, okay? Now's that time. Let's go. Would you rather AR come back postseason or next year? Postseason. Bro, if we can get to the playoffs and Aaron Rodgers is 100% ready to go, you want Aaron. I don't care, and I understand the argument. Well, if you're in the postseason, shouldn't Zach Wilson, if Zach Wilson got you there, shouldn't he be the guy in the postseason? No. Aaron Rodgers has all the experience, okay? I don't want to rely on Zach Wilson to make, young, youthful mistakes. You give it to Aaron Rodgers, and then we feel good about Zach Wilson's future with the Jets. But if Aaron's ready to go and we're in the postseason, it's Aaron. You hand it over to him. Let's go. Let's go. Now this is just driving me crazy, and I'm blaming 91 4 kicks. I blame you because now my mind is going into this hypothetical fantasy land of Aaron Rodgers returning for the playoffs and us going on a run. Now you're making me live in a fantasy delusional headspace. Oh my gosh. But you never know, right? You never know. Cook can catch too. We need him in the passing game more than ever now. Yeah, I think the Jets could utilize Dalvin Cook in the little screen passes, the little underneath routes, all those different opportunities. 70% of Rodgers is better than 150% of Zach. Ouch. You don't have to do Zach like that. Rodgers is getting killed. He is not the same guy athletically, but you are not ready for that conversation, and especially after this injury. Hey, I'm not putting anything past Aaron Rodgers, baby. Come on now. Can I play more Madden? I haven't played Madden in a long time. Sorry. He's returning for the Commanders or Browns game. Calling it. Can you imagine that? Folks, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new, man. We really, really appreciate you guys tuning in. How many likes do we got? We got 343 likes. Can we finish off the show over 400 likes? 400 likes would be pretty wild. If you guys are not already, guys, consider hitting that like button for your boy. Would really, really appreciate that, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Jets Media breaking news live show going into the trade details of Mecole Hardman going to the Kansas City Chiefs. Expect a lot of fun stuff happening on the channel throughout the bye week. And then we got the Jets and the Giants game next Sunday. Not this Sunday, next Sunday. So this is something to keep in mind. The trades might start flying around all over the place, so keep in mind for some trade conversations. I don't think this is the final trade the Jets make. I think this is the first of many, and I think we are going to become more buyers and sellers in the next few days, the next few weeks leading up to the deadline, which I believe is in 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks from now is the trade deadline. So definitely keep in mind for that. But that's going to wrap up this show, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is a really successful live stream. Thank you guys for tuning in to Jets Media. Really, really do appreciate you guys big time. Don't forget to hit that like button. Guitarist says, great show. I need to pop on more often. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that big time. I'm live all the time. So if you guys want to tune in, come on in, maybe. I welcome all different ways of life, ways of thinking, different fan bases, whatever the case may be. This channel is wide open for anybody, and we do take live callers a lot of the times as well. So if you guys want to tune in more often, don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell, and let's go Jets. Let's go Jets. I'll catch you guys in the next live show, and enjoy the rest of your night. And AFC's Roundtable starting tonight, 7:40 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll see you guys then. Peace and love as always. I'm out of here. Let's go Jets. Peace out, everybody.